Hey folks, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Always thrilled to be with you. BangTheBook.com. Follow on Twitter at BangTheBook. And the Sports Betting Podcast gets you spectacular information on all sports right here throughout the week at BangTheBook.com. You know, one of the things we do in Las Vegas is always try to be in look-ahead mode, to get ahead of a streak, to get ahead of a number, to get the very best of a number, and to try to find those rare opportunities when you can have something in your back pocket before the odds makers make adjustments. I think of baseball with streaks. Get on board with a streak, and we know there are baseball streak bettors that are out there. And I would say to you, the same scenarios exist in, of all sports, hockey. And of course, the Golden Knights existing now in the NHL, 8 games over 500, an expansion team. People around here are in love with them. Glad that hockey's here. People have been playing the Golden Knights, and they've been a remarkable story. And the handle has gone up across the valley on the game of hockey, not just on the Golden Knights, but because they follow Vegas now, they're following the sport. It's still minuscule in comparison to basketball and football, of course, but they're starting to identify opportunities on the hockey board. And to that end, let's talk about some of the streaks that are out there in the NHL and things that can give you an opportunity to get ahead of the curve. In the beginning of this season now, whatever, we're 25, 26 games, almost 30 games into the season, goal scoring was 5.2 goals a game at this time last year. Now it's in excess of 6. Now that will change when we get into January and February. Teams start to focus on the playoffs, but there has been more offense, and we're seeing totals of 6, so much more than we ever did. It was always 5.5 with an occasional 6. Now 6s for a total are on the board almost on a nightly basis, and occasionally you see 6.5. Well, who are some of these teams and some of the streaks and trends you may want to be looking at? Well, early in the year, we identified New Jersey as a dead-over team, playing such a different style with the addition of Hisshire, the first overall pick, and Butcher, the defenseman. Well, there was a window of opportunity, and they were an over team. Now Jersey settled down, and they've kind of flatlined a little bit, became an under team, but now you got to really do your homework on Jersey. But if you got ahead of that, you had a real opportunity. The same scenario existed with the Islanders and the Calgary Flames. But some of the ones that are in play right now, Nashville, they made a trade that got Kyle Turris to come to the Predators, and this is a team, this guy's had a massive impact. It was this big trade. This focal point was Duchesne, who went to Ottawa, but it's Turris who's had the biggest impact on this trade. And now Nashville, 8-4 over the total in their last 12 games. I mean, certainly you look at the matchup, but you have to identify Nashville at the moment as a team that you would expect to score more goals than they ever have in the past. Another one's Vancouver, who are very pedestrian, playing it simple in their own end. They went on an Eastern Road swing, and all of a sudden their offense came to life, 7-3 over in their last 10 games. And you look at the Jets specifically, in Winnipeg, okay, well, it's kind of a mixed bag. It's in, it's out, it's up, it's down. But wait a minute, go inside this. All of a sudden at home, they're scoring goals in droves. So Winnipeg's last 4 games at home, they scored 5, 7, 7, and 5 goals. So in the short term, when Winnipeg is playing at home, look for the opportunity for the games to go over the total. Now, the Sabres are a team, they're in free fall, just massively disappointing in Buffalo this year. Well, this is a team, you talk about a pedestrian goal-scoring drought. It's just amazing. They finally snapped it with a road win at Colorado, but they made some moves, and guys are walking on eggshells, know the trades are about to come. But they were 10-3-1 under the total in their last 14 games. I mean, it's 7 over 500 if you're following a team like that and playing them under the total. I'll give you one that you'd want to watch here in the next little bit, and that would be Edmonton. Their goaltender Talbot's been injured. Edmonton was having trouble scoring goals in the beginning of the year. Well, all of a sudden, and they're hopelessly down in the standings, but their goaltender Talbot's been injured, and the kid Laurent Brossoit, he's their backup goaltender who's now forced to play. He's not getting it done, and Edmonton realizes they have to outscore teams in track meet style because of who's playing goal for them. And you look at their last 2 games, a 6-4 loss, a 7-5 win. In the short term, look for Edmonton to be a team that goes over the total. And then you got Pittsburgh is another one with their goaltender Murray injured and Yari, the young kid's playing. Well, his first 2 games he played the Sabres. What did we just say? The Sabres couldn't score to save their lives. He shut them out and allowed 1 goal. Now he's going to be tested by better teams, and sure enough, loses a 5-4 game or 4-3 game to the Rangers. once he starts facing good teams, Pittsburgh's going to do what Edmonton has to do, and that's probably going to be outscore teams until the Penguins address their goaltending situation. Again, it's trying to get ahead of the curve, do something before the odds makers make adjustments, and there are opportunities for you on ice. It doesn't matter the sport. If it's on the board, you do your homework and you do your research, there are opportunities that exist out there for you on a daily basis. And that's the kind of information you'll get on the Sports Betting Podcast, and in always inviting you to follow along at Bang the Book. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, always thrilled to be with you right here at bangthebook.com.